Showers and thunderstorms beginning to really increase across the area. I'm tracking some strong boomers straight ahead.
There is extra security at Southern Kentucky school today after threats were made against 2 students. The details from Clay County ahead at 4.
And a man accused of stabbing his father in a Bowling Green church says he was, quote, moved by the message.
This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. Andrea Walker and Amber Philpott reporting. We're looking at some scattered showers across the bluegrass again today. Here's a live picture of downtown Lexington.
And some of us will see rain and some of us might not. Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. For those of us seeing rain today, it is putting it down out there. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, and very heavy rains across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. And today, we're watching everything coming from the south. We had a nice thunderstorm on the west side of Lexington, put down a quick 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain out at near Bluegrass Airport. Now focusing on southern Kentucky as those storms lift from south to north, getting a little thunder shower to try to pop southwest of Liberty. Somerset, we're okay, though. Look to your east and look at the lightning showing up here across Laurel County, getting up into Rockcastle County, southern parts of Jackson County. That extends eastward across the Hal Rogers Parkway. London, it is coming down right now to beat the proverbial band. That'll continue to lift to the north, so folks into Mount Vernon, into McKee, into Annville, and eventually into parts of Madison and Estill counties. That storm, or those clusters of storms, will be lifting in from south to north. Right now on top of the Manchester area, over toward Hyden, Leslie County. Folks up in Jackson, Breathitt County, that's going to lift to the north. A lot of thunder and lightning from Hazard down into the Whitesburg area. Some of those storms threatening to go severe a little earlier. Had severe weather reports coming out of northeastern Kentucky near the Ashland area. A little thunder shower popping around the Moorhead area, Carlisle to Mount Olivet, Nicholas County into Robertson County, getting in on some very heavy rains. And we're trying to pop a thunderstorm now between Paris and Lexington. Hour by hour future radar showing how we continue to see these little waves of thunderstorms coming at us from southwest to northeast as we go through the evening. The front is still out there, and it has been slower than I thought getting in here, and that means it's going to prolong the storm chances for the rest of the week. We will continue to track rounds of heavy rain in just a few.
Chris, thank you. A threat against some Southern Kentucky high school students led to concerns today, but school officials say there have been no problems.
It began last night, but once word got out of the alleged threat, some parents started picking their kids up from school. WKYT's Phil Pendleton spoke to the principal and has more from Clay County. It's our top story at 4.
The principal at Clay County High School tells me this all began Sunday night about 9:30 when they had learned that a threat had been made against several students. But it was then later revealed that the recipient of these threats, the students being threatened, were not even students here in Clay County. They were students at another school system. We talked with Manchester Police, and they tell us that the students being threatened were actually 2 students at Jackson County High School. Now, Manchester Police say that they were investigating this, and they say that because of this, and once word got out of this on social media, it created a firestorm of worry and concern. But the principal at Clay County High School says there was never any worry of safety here, and that the student who allegedly made this threat was never even at school on Monday.
The threat was not toward anyone at Clay County High School, no staff member or no school personnel. So thankfully no one at Clay County High School was ever threatened or in any danger.
Well, despite this, some parents, we are told, did take their students from Clay County High School. They came here and picked them up on Monday morning, but after that there was never any more concern at the school system. We're going to have much more on this at 5 o'clock, but for now in Clay County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Jackson County school officials confirm the student who was threatened is a high school student there, but would not release much else about the incident.
A man accused of stabbing his father during a church service went before a judge this morning. A judge in Bowling Green set Ethan Buckley's bond at $500,000. The stabbing happened yesterday morning at Hillview Heights Church. According to a police report, Buckley told police he had thoughts of killing his father during the church message and admitted to trying to cut his father's jugular so it would be painless. His father is in the hospital, but we don't know his condition. Buckley will be back in court on Friday. It is a way to keep his memory alive. Today, a fallen officer's cruiser went back on display outside the Richmond Police Department.
Officer Daniel Ellis's cruiser now features special decals honoring him, including his signature across the hood. The car will be on display for a few days before the school resource officer, who works at the same high school as Ellis's wife, begins using it.
Every time they see this car at the school, you know, they'll remember that. They'll remember him, and they'll remember, you know, what he stood for, and that's what we're hoping. We want to keep his legacy alive. He was really a great police officer and a great person.
Officer Ellis's son Luke has a replica of his dad's car with the same signature on the hood. We'll have more on the display coming up on WKYT News at 5. Public schools across the state may soon provide the anti-overdose drug naloxone to its students and staff. On Thursday, the Kentucky Department of Education announced every school district in the state is eligible for free supplies of the drug, thanks to a grant from the Clinton Foundation and Adapt Pharma. Madison County has decided to take part in the program.
Any precautionary step or measure that we can take for the safety of our students and our staff, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and do that. We don't anticipate ever needing to use it, but it's there if that situation ever does arise.
We'll have more on this story, including reaction from Madison County parents tonight on WKYT at 6.
He led a school through tragedy. Today, the former principal of Columbine High School brought the lessons he learned in Colorado to Kentucky. 12 students and a teacher died in the shooting rampage at the school in April of 1999. The principal had an emotional message for the staff of Corbin Independent Schools. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, you'll hear what he learned going through that tragedy. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. The federal government has declared parts of Louisiana a major disaster area following historic flooding over the weekend. More than 20,000 people were rescued from floodwaters. More rivers and creeks are expected to rise out of their banks in the coming days. We'll have more on the devastation in Louisiana ahead for you on WKYT News at 5. Donald Trump's campaign chair is in the hot seat for his ties to the former Ukrainian president.
At the same time today, his boss, the Republican presidential nominee, is offering details on his counterterrorism plans. Hillary Clinton is taking aim at Trump while stumping with Vice President Joe Biden. Craig Boswell is following the action from the White House.
Donald Trump outlined his plans to fight ISIS at home and abroad.
Military, cyber, and financial warfare will all be necessary to dismantle Islamic terrorism.
He didn't repeat his call for a ban on Muslims, but he does want to implement a new test for immigrants coming to the U.S. from countries with ties to terrorism. Trump also wants to stop nation building, meaning removing dictators to put in American-friendly governments, which he says doesn't work. And he wants law enforcement to focus on signs of radicalization within the U.S.
Hillary Clinton says Trump is all over the map in his plan to fight terrorism, and she rejected his proposal to drive ISIS out of Syria.
He's talked about sending ground troops, American ground troops. Well, that is off the table as far as I am concerned.
Trump's speech was overshadowed by reports his campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was on a list for secret payments from a pro-Russian political party in Ukraine. The New York Times reports the party designated $12.7 million for Manafort. Ukrainian anti-corruption investigators say the handwritten ledger documents a system of illegal off-the-books payments. Manafort denied the report, saying the suggestion that I accepted cash payments is unfounded, silly, and nonsensical. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Manafort has worked as a political consultant for the former Ukrainian president in the past, but that work was already public knowledge.
More criminals are profiting from gift card fraud. Coming up in Money Watch, how they can drain the balance.
And many Florida farmers are looking to hops as the next big crop.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Major retailers announced their second quarter sales Friday. That begins today's Money Watch.
Macy's, Kohl's, and Nordstrom all posted losses that improved over the first quarter. Analysts say it is encouraging news for the retailers and their outlook for the rest of the year. Both Kohl's and Macy's have recently announced plans to close some of its stores. Volkswagen got the okay on a fix for software that cheats on pollution tests. The Motor Vehicle Authority in Germany, where Volkswagen is based, approved a tech update for 460,000 of its smaller cars. Volkswagen sold about 11 million cars with emissions cheating software.
Florida is tapping into the exploding craft beer business. Some farmers in the state have started growing hops after a bacterial disease hurt Florida's iconic citrus industry. Florida traditionally was considered too hot and humid to grow hops, but researchers there have started to develop plants that work in the state's climate. Gift cards are always an easy present,
but criminals have now figured out how to drain the cards before you can even use them. Julie Watts reports.
I was rejecting the card, and he didn't understand why.
And neither did Alex Stevenson when she tried to use this Best Buy gift card to buy a new TV.
It was actually a birthday gift from my sister.
The $200 card she'd just received for her birthday had a zero balance. A surprise to the teacher, who hadn't even taken it out of its wrapper until she got to the store. And she's not alone.
This card most likely was in the store for a period of time.
Chief Joe Periucci of the Foster City Police Department says for years criminals were copying the numbers off gift cards on public displays and then returning them to the rack.
Attention service desk.
They wait until the cards are activated, then drain the balance, sometimes even before the recipient has received their gift. One of the tricks of the trade? Zebra stickers that can be used to cover up scratched off security panels so the buyer doesn't realize the card's been tampered with.
We would love the retail stores to remove the cards from public access.
Security experts say criminals are also getting the numbers through data breaches and by hacking into stores' gift card databases. Neither Safeway, where Alex's card was purchased, nor Best Buy could tell us how her card was breached, though Best Buy says the card was drained the day after it was purchased.
Now, the safest place to buy gift cards is directly from the retailer, and you should ask for gift cards that are kept behind the counter. After we contacted Best Buy, they gave Alex a new $200 gift card. In San Francisco, I'm Julie Watts.
It's time to kiss summer goodbye and pucker up for a cure. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about with a fun event happening this weekend at Talon Winery.
Thunderstorms rapidly increasing across the area. We're tracking the possibility for some local severe weather in just a moment.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Thunderstorms packing a punch out there this afternoon across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. A lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rains. We've been down this road a few times before this summer, haven't we? Let's look at your Defender radar network. And those thunderstorms, again, coming at us in waves from southwest to northeast. The farther west you go into central Kentucky, the drier it has been today. Farther into the eastern part of the state, forget about it. You're getting these waves of very heavy rains that continue to come at you. Let's track those. And what we're seeing now across Pulaski County, back into sections of Lincoln County, toward Liberty into Casey County, those are thunderstorms that are just beginning to go up. Got a little storm southwest of Corbin. Strong thunderstorm here that blew through the London area not too long ago. Again, lifting to the north. Mount Vernon, the worst of this is just off to our east around the Mullins area down toward Livingston. And again, that'll rumble toward Berea and maybe Richmond if it can hold together that far to the north, and no reason to suspect it won't at this point. McKee into Annville, Jackson County, eastbound we go across Boonville and southern Owsley County. Now the thunderstorms begin to increase a bit from Hyden over to Hazard and down into Whitesburg into Letcher County. 3D Defender showing you how those thunderstorms are indeed beginning to spike way up there. Strongest thunderstorm now based on the 3D view is this storm that is on the Perry-Leslie County line. That has already put down a lot of rain. Let's watch the creeks and streams here into southeastern Kentucky for some local flash flooding. Mountain Parkway corridor, scattered stuff here. I-64 and north, very strong thunderstorm that is to the west of Flemingsburg, right on top of Carlisle as well. That's one that put down, I believe, right around 4/10 of an inch of rain out at Bluegrass Airport this afternoon in 8 minutes. That's how much rain these storms are capable of putting down in a short amount of time. Looking to the west and the southwest, we have that front that was slower getting in here. It put the brakes on as of now. That big tropical plume of moisture is slowly entrained into this system that will continue to work its way toward the area. So we look at the rainfall forecast from a short-range computer model instead of looking at an overall picture of a week or so. This is what the short-range model is forecasting over the next day or two. Don't get too concerned with any one location on that. Just know that it is finally now beginning to see the increase in thunderstorms that I thought would come as we hit yesterday. Instead, it's coming a little later now. We go through tomorrow. Temperatures mid-80s with a threat for showers and some thunderstorms, and some locally heavy rains will be with us tomorrow. Then again on Wednesday, by the time we roll into Thursday, may catch a bit of a break by that time with a smaller thunderstorm threat. Quick look at the hour by hour for the evening upon us. Anytime the sun sets in a situation like this, a lot of those thunderstorms will begin to go by the wayside. Tomorrow afternoon, we're likely to do it all over again with showers and thunderstorms that will increase. And that'll continue into the day on Wednesday, too. Here's the 7-day forecast. Hey, we've got a big change coming this weekend with another cold front. This time, though, that front has a push of much cooler air coming in behind it. And that front means the potential for the coolest air since late spring to show up early next week. Right now, let's talk traffic and look outside, see what we have going on across the region. And traffic-wise, into the city of Lexington, a couple of accidents that are showing up as of now. We're getting in on an accident on the east side of town, Winchester Road at I-75. Also, not too far away from Masterson Station, that's Leestown, right before New Circle Road there with an injury accident. And we also have road blockage now. Part of Richmond Road is blocked. That's northbound at Hanover Avenue, so keep an eye out on that.
All right, thank you, Chris. It's time to kiss summer goodbye and get ready to pucker up for a cure.
Deanne Stevens is out and about today. She joins us from Talon Winery to explain. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here at Talon Winery, and little Piggy's trying to tell you something here. It's like, get out here to Talon and be a part of the fun that's happening this weekend for the American Diabetes Association. Eric Case is with us now, and Eric's helping put this event together, has a personal reason for it. You were a candidate a few years ago for this Kiss a Pig event, but a big kickoff Friday night.
Absolutely. We're really excited. This is our summer wind down event. We have it every year. It has become a kickoff for our Kiss a Pig fundraiser that actually happens this October. So we're excited to be here.
So what is Summer Wind Down all about here at Talon?
Summer Wind Down is just a good time to get together, try to raise some money for the ADA. We're trying to find a cure for diabetes and also help people with diabetes just in their day-to-day life. We have bands, we have food trucks out, and then we also announce all our candidates for our Kiss a Pig event, which is happening in October. Our Kiss a Pig event is a really fun event in October. We pit 10 community and business leaders against each other who try to raise money for to try to find a cure for diabetes.
Right. And you yourself would be extremely appreciative of anybody who would help take part in finding that cure. Tell folks why.
Absolutely. I've been a type 1 diabetic for 20 plus years, and so I've struggled with the disease, and I know the challenges. It affects our community as a whole. It's really becoming a bad epidemic in our area, and so we're going to come out and try to do what we can to put an end to it.
All right, we're turning something bad into something really good for you, because you can come be a part of a summer wind down happening here at Talon. You can meet the little pig. Becky is with us from A Little Pigs. You want to talk first? Kenny's probably like, don't let the pig eat my microphone. Becky, tell us about your place and how pigs actually play a very important role in diabetes.
Well, the reason that pigs play such a big role in diabetes is that they are the ones that they found insulin. And pigs are like us. They have skin like us. Their insides, a lot of their organs are like us. They use pig valves for heart replace valves. Right. These little guys are very important to medical science, and they're the reason we have insulin.
And they are the reason we're going to have a lot of fun this coming Friday night here at Talon Winery. You can get your tickets right here at the gate. It's happening from 7 to 10 o'clock. Come be a part of the fun. And I understand Sam Dick, of course, is going to be a part of the fun. He'll be here, too. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Talon. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deanne. An unexpected benefit of eating low fat, that's ahead in Better Living. And a caution for parents of infants.
Tomorrow's Mega Millions is $52 million, and Wednesday's Powerball is $94 million.
Now it's time for Better Living. Health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. A new study suggests many parents are taking risks when putting their babies to sleep. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends babies are placed on their backs on firm sleep surfaces with no loose blankets, stuffed animals, pillows, or bumper pads to avoid sudden infant death. Doctors say the findings show more parents need to be educated. Doctors overseas are reporting that cancer now outranks heart disease as the main cause of death. Health officials in Europe say prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease has led to a large decrease in the number of deaths in at least a dozen countries. And a low-fat diet rich in fruits and vegetables designed to reduce high blood pressure appears to prevent gout as well. Doctors at Johns Hopkins say it can be as effective as medication in lowering uric acid and preventing gout flare-ups. Now let's head to Chris for another check of the weather.
Yeah, seeing those big thunderstorms across southern and southeastern Kentucky, got a bird's eye view of one of those towering thunderheads here showing up on our WKYT sky cam. And again, you're going to want to watch the southern sky. Those storms are going to come at you from south to north, and they're going to be noisy with a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rain. You see how some of those storms are now beginning to threaten parts of Madison County. Folks around Berea, look to your south. That's a big thunderstorm on top of Rockcastle County, and that's the overall flow. And additional showers and storms are beginning to kind of fill in the gaps across parts of central Kentucky over the next hour or two. These storms can quickly drop an inch of rain and contain a lot of heavy rainfall, obviously a lot of lightning, and maybe some localized wind damage. We've had some gusts approaching 35, 40 miles an hour as those storms continue to lift from south to north. We'll have more of the forecast a little bit when we track additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Right now, let's start things out in WKYT News at 4:30.